Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Football versus Life with me, Mr. Joshua Pemberton, joined as always by Mr. Michael Bradshaw. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Mr. Jimmy Nuttall. Hello.
Hello, hello.
And a man who, when Jimmy was never available to turn up for social occasions at uni, we sent him in his place. I refer to him as the baby Nuttall. It's Jimmy's brother, Jack. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Pembo. Hi, Michael. Hi, Jimmy.
I feel like we've gone a bit international because Jack is in the UK. So what time is it over there for you?
It is now 3:25 in the morning.
It's all right, though. He has nothing to do.
Witching hour.
It's a Sunday. Yeah.
Do you have any other siblings with Jay? Do you have a sister called Jean or anything like
that? No. The funny thing is, there's me and Jimmy who are both Jays, and then the next two are both ours.
Oh, yeah.
So there's Robert and Rebecca, so kind of...
They don't have the full dictionary in your house, then?
No. They didn't quite get that far.
We only got J's in ours up north.
And we only say to, we don't say the.
Yeah.
I love that Michael McIntyre joke about going to the north. What did you get? I went to the HMV. Could you tell me what I bought? Yes, you bought tut line, tut witch, tut wardrobe, tut good, tut bad, tugly, and tut.
Yeah.
It's great. Anyway, enough ramblings about the north. Today, by the time this podcast goes out, the World Cup will have started. So by the time this podcast goes out, we'll either know the results of the first group game, or we'll know who won the whole damn thing. So congratulations, Wales. I'm obviously joking. We should probably do a whole thing of what we're wearing. I have got my Wales shirt on. Originally, it was going to be a Sweden one, but I remembered Wales are in the World Cup, and this fits. So yes, got my Gareth Bale Wales shirt on. Mr. Michael is donning a very, very lovely England shirt from the late 80s, early 90s. And he's got Mike Bassett behind him.
No, that's Gareth Southgate. What are you on about?
Oh, yeah, true. And Harry Maguire is the equivalent of Benson and Hedges.
Yeah, right. Leading them to glory. We're not playing. Hopefully, we don't play Mexico during the time, and there's all the balls being taken out the Opal.
And we're losing 2-0 to the fucking Mexicans. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen Mike Bassett, you owe it to yourself to do that. I feel I need to watch it again. And Jimmy has got what can only be described as football's answer to the Kardashians that he's wearing. Tries to be relevant and nobody cares.
I'm just more with it than all you guys. You know what I mean? I'm embracing it.
Is that a goalkeeper kit?
Paris, and it's got like Paris, because fashionable.
In case you get lost.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
Paris in Marseille.
In Marseille.
Well, you get all these Premier League teams who are from London saying visit Rwanda, so at least you're keeping it local.
Yeah, true.
Well, it should probably say visit Doha. Yeah. Brackets. Not if you're gay.
Not if you're gay. Drink alcohol or get to that. And Jack is sporting what could only be described as 3:20 in the morning.
I think it's it's an 1890s Liverpool kit, I think, or something like that.
I think, you know what? You might be right.
You're saying that, I do have a replica of that shirt, the original Liverpool shirt. But in terms of my attire of just wearing a jumper, I thought about wearing an England shirt to be supportive of the World Cup, but after seeing the England squad, I don't deem it necessary to wear a shirt.
Right.
True. If you're wearing the England shirt, then what's the dog got to piss on?
Well, since he's just brought that up, we're now let's crack on. We've introduced Jack. We'll talk about thoughts ahead of the World Cup in a minute. Thoughts on that England squad, gentlemen. Jack? You should probably start since you've got seemingly strong feelings.
I just still can't believe that he chooses to include Harry Maguire. That's my biggest question mark, and the fact that he just goes like the majority of the squad is all defenders as well, which just shows he's wanting to set up of going right. We're not going to play any form of attacking football. We'll just sit there and play with shit defenders.
The thing is with Harry Maguire, yes, at United he's terrible. At England he's actually been quite solid. But I agree. Why would you put a defender in who hasn't played? When 2018 World Cup he was solid.
Exactly.
That was the one that got him.
Was he,
United.
or was it everyone else around him?
Yeah, he's got a solid forehead. I don't know about solid anything else.
True. My biggest gripe with the England squad was why Ivan Toney wasn't picked, but I guess it's because of the whole betting thing.
I agree. Ivan Toney should have been in that squad. He's like performed really well this season.
And like, you know, who are the strikers that they took? Why is Rashford in it?
They've got Rashford, Saka.
Saka I can understand.
Yeah.
Callum Wilson as well.
Yeah,
Wilson I can understand.
Yeah, I can understand. But yeah, and then you've got your wing.
Grealish, can we understand? He's okay, but
no. Grealish shouldn't be there. He's done naff all. He's done absolutely naff all at Man City.
He's just there to sell posters. That's
the only thing that Grealish has done has made Miguel Almiron play better.
All I can say as well in regards to Grealish, and you're saying him about selling posters, I heard on the radio the other morning that there's actually a fella who has been selling calendars of Jack Grealish's calves. Why? I have no idea. But apparently his calves are good looking, so there's a whole calendar of it if you're after it.
To those of you who are seeking a visual, we are talking about on your legs and not the small animals that you could potentially,
I remember we don't know his private life.
And that calendar's probably not available in Qatar, is it?
No, it is too sexy. No, stop.
Yeah, it's a bit too revealing.
It is a bit. Speaking of Qatar, I suppose, thoughts ahead of the World Cup. Can I be permitted to start?
Yeah.
Usually when it's a World Cup, and I know there's a World Cup, I am very, very excited. I find myself not so excited at the moment because not just because of the controversy surrounding it, because we all know people are still going to watch. It's more the fact it's in the middle of the bloody season.
Yeah, I think, especially for me anyway, where I am, it's like it's dark when I leave for work and it's dark when I come home. And that's not like World Cup kind of feeling. World Cup's in the summer where it's all bright and everything's like wonderful and it's warm. Whereas now it's like, well, it's cold, it's miserable, it's dark. Why is the World Cup on?
It's like, I've always wanted to watch Senegal versus Qatar in me slippers and me dressing gown.
And all these players that are getting injured. Like Benzema's out. Mane.
Is Benzema
Mane's out?
Yeah, thigh injury.
So he's out of the whole World Cup?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Not long, a couple of days ago.
I read about it today.
Jeez, oh no, that sucks.
In training.
Yeah,
it's like
that is sad because I kind of fancied Senegal because they've had the Cup of Nations or whatever. I thought they might have a good run, so I mean they might still do, but with Mane,
Premier League defenders.
I think Qatar are gonna win.
Yeah.
Well, what they'll do is they'll gradually bring the match start times closer and closer to midday, so they'll be the only ones who can run round in that heat.
Well, there's Saudi and Iran.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It'll be a Qatar-Saudi or Qatar-Iran final.
Imagine.
In which, could you imagine that? Do you hate human rights as much as these two? Then watch the World Cup final between Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
But if we're going off heat, go on. So if we're going off heat, and maybe Ecuador have a chance as well, maybe.
That's true. And the Mexicans.
Yeah.
3 cheers to them.
Costa Rica, albeit they're supposedly in the death group, I think have a decent chance.
Because of the heat.
No, not their record. They're like in qualifying to get to the World Cup. They've been like one of the best defensively.
Fair enough, but to be fair, who are the other nations that they're competing with to get there?
True, but it's one of them things.
I mean, it's true. You can only beat what's in front of you. I mean, I was trying to tell my Aussie drummer last night because he said, "Oh, New Zealand are in the World Cup." I'm like, no, they're not. Like, And he's like, why are Australia in with Asia? I'm like, probably because you keep dicking people 36-0. That's why. And so they wanted to make it a bit more competitive.
Yeah.
That's the thing. All right. So I've got a bunch of points in terms of who I think, as in like predictions. And there's also a quiz, which I definitely want to do because I do love a good quiz. And I'm quite proud of my little World Cup quiz. I promise there are no true or false, in my opinion, questions.
Really?
Good.
Promise. Promise.
I have watched previous episodes, so I do know what you're on about.
I mean, I thought it was quite funny, but
are you one of our 3 fans, Jack?
I think you might be.
Yeah, I am. I did highly enjoy it.
Back to this question.
Especially the Premier League hits.
Thank you for putting that picture up. Settle an argument for me, Jack. Aidan McGeady looks like Steve Bruce.
Aidan McGeady looks like Steve Bruce's like a lot slimmer cousin.
So there's definitely a similarity there.
Would that
He's not Steve Bruce,
there,
but he is Steve Bruce's slimmer cousin.
Did that constitute a correct answer? Would I have got points for that?
Yeah, I would have given that.
Yeah, there you go then.
I would have given that.
I should join more often.
You should. You should make it a quartet. Right, let's start. Let's crack on. Who do we think is going to win the World Cup?
Don't start with that question.
I'm starting with that question.
I think Argentina have got a good shout.
Argentina is a good one.
Yeah, I don't want Portugal for obvious reasons.
No.
My opinion,
Argentina. England, right? England were in the semis and the final of the 2 most previous international tournaments. So we
can only get shitter.
but Argentina and
the
England,
natural trajectory is to win it.
No, the bottle jobs. Argentina and England are bottle jobs. Like unless like bloody Nobby Styles and Diego Maradona get like
reanimated from the dead.
Is Nobby Styles still alive, or is it? I don't know. But anyway, if probably not. But if they come back from the dead to the living, then maybe they'll have a chance of winning. But otherwise, I can't see either of them two. But I agree, they should be able to win it with the players they've got. But I just don't think they have the spirit to do it.
Just so you know, Nobby Styles is dead. He died just over 2 years ago.
Oh, see, because I watched a documentary the other day, and he was still alive in that documentary, but it was like from 2013.
He died in October 2020.
It was the documentary that killed him. I think Brazil are going to win it.
Well, yeah, I think it's one of them. You've got all your big nations that normally perform well will all have a shout, like Spain, Germany, France. They'll all have a big shout. Brazil will have a big shout.
Belgium?
I don't think Belgium of 4 years ago, maybe. Not at the moment.
Yeah, I think Belgium are more on the fringe team. They're a bit of a rank outsider at this point.
Bruyne's playing ridiculous at the moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, don't discount them for sure. Yeah.
No. On the France subject, though, and I was talking to my drummer last night because we were on about the fact the World Cup was starting. Do you know that every single team, apart from, I'm trying to think now, but most teams that have won the World Cup in the previous tournament never get out of the group the next.
Yeah.
So 2014, Germany won it. 2018, Manuel Neuer thought he was a midfielder, and they were eliminated.
But their team is insane, though. If they don't get out of the groups, that's France.
France's team is pretty decent, but
if they don't get out of the groups, then something weird is happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're in with Denmark, Australia, and Tunisia. I mean, yeah, there's something wrong if they don't get out of that group.
True. The Danes are good. The Danes have a good squad, and I think they will be. They're not going. I don't think they're going to win it, but I think the Danes will definitely do well. Australia, as much as. Huh?
The Danes in Qatar. We're talking about the heat. It's the worst place to come from.
Can I also say, regarding Denmark, I'm really pleased to see that Christian Eriksen's been selected again.
Yes. Yes, that's good.
I mean, the heat though might.
I was thinking that as well.
I was like, you best make sure his pacemaker's
Yeah,
forward
fitted.
before he steps on
Just
the
stash him in a fridge before the start. Just stash him in a fridge.
I think he'll probably be fitted with monitors, and there'll be someone sat there with a tablet on the sidelines checking his heart.
Somebody's there is like, oh, he's about to go and clear. I'm ready.
Yeah, it'll be like the scene in Casino Royale.
Oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked him for the insurance reasons. No way.
Go take out some life insurance. Yes, to the tune of about £12 million. Who do we think is going to finish third? Not that anyone really cares.
England.
But
England will finish third, or Argentina because the bottle jobs. One of those two.
I don't think England are going to get past the quarters. Personally,
Yeah, I mean that's if
Spain.
if they have a good run.
you're saying Spain.
Yeah,
Jack says Spain.
Spain could be a dark horse. Although
I think
it feels
Spain
weird
will
to
finish
consider them a
third.
dark horse.
I think Spain could finish third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spain have a decent squad. Even
The
if De Gea's not
Netherlands?
in it.
Oh yeah,
Holland,
yeah,
that's a good shout.
We need to do a podcast at some point rating World Cup kits because that Holland kit.
Oh, I'm happy to join in with that. I'm a bit more like you, Michael. I like the quirkier kits.
Good on you. Good on
You
you.
should see some of his shirts I used to see him in. Jesus Christ.
What, me or
Mike?
Mike?
Well, you, Mr. Baby Nuttall. You used to be like on the set of Miami Vice in your garish Hawaii shirts.
He's rocked like a flamingo suit before. Have you not had the flamingo suit before, Jack? Like
Well,
Yeah.
Pembo saw me in that pink suit. Yeah,
I did. It was at your.
See, I kind of half thought I dreamt that suit, but it was actually real, was it?
It was real.
it
was not a fantasy. It was real. I'd forgotten about that. Thank you.
And I even had blue suede shoes with it.
Blue suede shoes are
So you can't diss his outfits if you're selling them to him. You're the one supplying it.
I'm not supplying it.
That's what he said.
I didn't supply it. He buys it up by himself. He doesn't need my help. Clearly.
No, if
I'm wearing a Wales shirt. Dark horses. This is an interesting one. Dark horses for the tournament because I think mine's kind of out there, but I think
Uruguay.
Uruguay's a good shout.
Uruguay or Serbia.
Senegal
Serbia
still
got a
in without
really good
Mane.
fucking team.
Wait. Hold up. There was like two people speaking at once. Jimbo, what'd you say?
Senegal.
Senegal, nice. Even without Mane.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Jack?
Yeah, right. That's who I said. Senegal. Yeah, even without Mane, they have a chance.
I'm going for the Japanese.
Yes, I agree with that as well.
Hear me out on the
You'll be all right.
Japanese. No, hear me out on the Japanese. For them not to include the likes of Maeda and Kyogo kind of tells you, and they're doing really, kind of tells you how strong that squad is. Like, I'll admit a football game is not a good reference point when you're doing hardcore research, but
It's not.
Apparently not. But
What are you supposed to? That's the
exactly.
best.
But
Yeah.
I was.
What are you
So
going by then? Fucking tea leaves or football manager.
Yeah, basically.
They're really
on-
good on FIFA, right?
So on PES 21, in which I've got an option file where it's this season stuff, the Japan team, like there's the likes of like Ritsu Doan, Kuba, like some of those players, and these are players that aren't like playing in Japan, they're playing in big leagues in Europe. You got Tomiyasu, who's an absolute beast at Arsenal. Kyogo and Maeda, all right, they're not going, but them and Hotate at Celtic have been absolutely tearing it up. You've got Kubo, who was once on the books at Real Madrid and is now at Real Sociedad, I think. Ritsu Doan's been playing in Germany. There's some really good players in that squad. Really good players. And I remember the days of Nakamura and Keisuke Honda and Junichi Inamoto. And those are my dark horses. Dark horses.
That's a dark horses.
We've gone into F1 territory now. A dark horse. What's going to be a good surprise at the tournament in terms of a team? Who's going to be a good surprise? I think Canada.
Serbia. I think Serbia is going to be up there.
Serbia
got
are
really
solid.
good teams. Real good player, Mitrovic up front. Vavanovic for Juve. Dusan Tadic. Yeah, I got some really good players.
They have got some.
As I said earlier, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
I think they'll be. I know they won't be entertaining to watch in terms of the fact that they play defensively and they just play counter-attacking football. But
like their group, Spain, Germany, Japan.
Yeah, but when you consider it, in 2014, they had a group of us, Italy, and Uruguay, and they won it.
True.
So,
True.
all right, it was an England squad that was terrible, but we'll by the by.
But it's one of those things as they always call them the death groups for like the likes of Costa Rica, but yet they're gonna play because they've got nothing to lose. They're gonna play like they have nothing to lose. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about you, Jim Bob?
I think potentially we might see better showings than we think from Australia and the US. I think they have players that could put on a good show and could upset some teams in the group. So I think potentially those two could. But it's one of those. They're going to be hit and miss with those guys. They're either going to play a good World Cup or they're going to have a crap one. I can't see them.
I definitely think England's group with Iran, US, and Wales is not as easy as people are saying it is.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you got to put these into perspective. Iran have a coach in Carlos Queiroz who was Fergie's number 2 at United. And yes, he didn't do very good at Real Madrid, but he has really, really done wonders for the Iranian national team. They also have a couple of really good players like Sardar Azmoun, who plays for, I think he plays for Zenit St. Petersburg still. There's a reason they call him the Iranian Messi. The USA have got this emerging young talent. You've got Pulisic, who's great. You've got Tyler Adams and Brendan Aronson, who are playing for.
I don't think Pulisic is in good form, though. Like, when was the last time he played for Chelsea?
Oh, he's been in the squad a lot more recently since Potter's taken over.
He has. Yeah, he has.
But there's definitely some talent. And Wales, like Costa Rica, will go in knowing that they have nothing to lose because it's their first World Cup in 64 years. And Gareth Bale, I think, will score a good couple of goals.
I do think
What was that, Jack?
I was going to say, I do actually want to see Qatar do well. Or at least put up a decent showing in the group.
I think people
don't get out.
I want them to be humiliated, to be honest. I want 8-0 every game.
Jesus.
But you have that funny thing, don't you, with World Cups, where you have the host nation tend to win their first game because they're the first game on.
Yeah.
Because it was like South Africa as well.
South Africa was so unlucky in their World Cup.
Yeah, and that for that first game was unbelievable, and one of the goals was just ridiculous.
Yeah, Shabalala.
Yeah, Shabalala.
Yeah.
And I really like that World Cup football as well, in fairness.
Was that the Jabalani one, the one that everyone hated? I like the 2002.
Like a fucking
I'm a
snake.
FIFA Nova man, 2002. Oh, that was nice.
That was the first World Cup I properly watched, 2002.
That ball was divine.
When was everybody's first World Cup? Mine was 2002.
98.
98.
Oh, nice. I watched that in the final of 98, but didn't really understand what was going on.
Me and you were sat there watching it, Jimmy, with hits on and face paint and everything.
England face paint, and then Michael Owen's obviously scored and we got knocked out, and I cried. I was like 6, and it's like my whole world was destroyed. But
that
we
was
watched
the David Batty, wasn't it? The penalty.
Oh yeah, but then what I remember most is just Beckham getting sent off as well, which kind of like ruined it.
Yeah.
And
did he deserve to be sent off though?
I think so. He kind of hacked someone's leg. It was pretty. Yeah. He acted rashly, Also, I remember watching, because hence why I've got the picture in the background here. So that was the World Cup Scotland was in, and I remember watching Scotland because we went to a holiday park. Jack, I don't know. You probably won't remember. It's way back in the day down in Devon, and I remember watching like the Scotland game and then followed by the England game like the day after. It was really good atmosphere.
I feel like France '98 had some proper good players. Like
it did, yeah.
Bergkamp, Davo, and also that was Croatia's first World Cup as well.
Oh yeah,
of
course.
Amazing.
That kit was really nice as well.
That's still a nice kit now. The Croatia kits.
Yeah,
I'm a fan. Michael, when was your first World Cup?
That one. I just remember David Batty missing the penalty.
Yeah.
See, like my first proper one was 2002. Like I didn't really, like I knew of football around France '98, but I wasn't really. I didn't really interest me. 2002 though, I was invested. Did your schools ever for World Cups like let
Yeah.
you watch games?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were open. I
Yeah,
watched
it
that
was
Brazil
good.
game during the class.
Yeah, I watched that Brazil game in the hall when
Oh, yeah.
When I was in
Ronaldinho
primary
scored.
school.
See, I think that was like, I think I was at a wedding that day. Or me and Jack both would have been at a wedding because I seem to remember, because it was my
It
cousin's
was a
wedding.
school. It was during the
Maybe it
week,
wasn't.
wasn't it?
Maybe it was a different day then, because we were definitely, there was a match on when we were at a wedding, because I remember he got married. My cousin got married during that summer of the World Cup, but yeah, it might not have been that game. But I remember the goal very clearly, Ronaldinho's goal. It was crazy.
The thing is, David
Mhm.
Seaman should have been. The thing is, David Seaman should have been like off the pitch beforehand because he was clearly suffering with an injury.
Yeah.
But then again, I think everyone's there saying like, "Oh, it was a fluke." Like, doesn't matter. Everyone was ball watching, thinking the ball was going to go into the area and players were going to attack it. And that Brazil team of 2002, Jesus
Yeah, I mean,
Christ!
and that was Ronaldinho. He
Mm.
was like what he could do. He was like the best player in the world at the time in terms of like what he could do, or at least emerging.
He was emerging at the time.
He was emerging because it was. I'm more like 2004, right? It'd be considered like in that caliber. But yeah, he was emerging to be at least. Yeah.
And then he had Rivaldo and Ronaldo beside him.
Yeah.
Do you remember
that team was
Rivaldo?
insane.
Do you remember Rivaldo clutching
Yeah, I
his
know what you're
face
gonna
when
say.
he actually got hit in the leg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leeds apparently rejected the opportunity to sign Rivaldo for £1 million.
Oh, one of the worst decisions ever made.
Well, no, because when you think about it, that was the season where it came out that we were financially without a pot to piss in. So actually, it was probably quite wise because I dread to think how much he would have cost.
But what about the shirt sales?
To be fair, shirt sales would have.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. Who do we think is going to be we've had good surprise. Who do we think is going to be a really bad surprise? Which team is just going to be terrible? Like, you think England?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not used to them being good, so.
Yeah, just safe to say England,
I to disagree with you, Pembo, I think Canada might be just dreadful.
Fair enough. Michael?
Michael's going to say Qatar, isn't he?
No, I know.
He already said he wanted them to lose 8-0.
That's not, I think. I think maybe like the Netherlands or Spain or Germany. Like, I think some of those teams, either one of them is going to disappoint big time.
I'm going to base this on like previous history, and I'm going to say France.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to base it. I'm going to base it purely on the fact that, like I said, apart from trying to think which team it was, apart from, when was it? So right, France '98, France won it in 2002. They got knocked out. Who won it in 2002? Brazil. Apart from Brazil in 2006, who got past the group stage. Not many of the teams who win it previously have, go through it. I mean, Italy haven't been in the last 2 World Cups.
It's crazy, isn't it? When you think about
mental.
what the caliber of players that Italy had, or at least used to have. I mean, Italy were just such a good team, and yeah.
I know.
Because all they need to do is get to the World Cup, and then they will do well.
Yeah.
I mean, they won the Euros, and they deserve to win the Euros. They deserved it, I think.
Is it a point as well with the teams not doing well after they've won it, the fact that it's 4 years, and if they have an ageing squad, then they've essentially got a brand new squad to embed in.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, so it's kind of difficult because they've only then got the Euros or other continents equivalent to try and merge that team together.
Absolutely. Now, if you're a nation that happens to have emerging players that have won you a tournament, then maybe you're lucky that they'll have grown up. But for some of these nations, it's like we've won the tournament, and then 4 years later, wait a second, he's 36 now. He's crocked because 36 is quite old in football, which is scary to admit.
Yeah.
It's not if you look at James Milner. James
Milner's just an absolute god. I want him back at Leeds. I don't care if he'll be nearly 40. I want him back for one season, just one. One season is all you need. So yeah,
together.
I don't know why I'm doing that because I'm not wearing my Leeds shirt. Who do we think is going to be the worst team at the tournament? We already know what Michael's going to say.
I think the worst team is going to be. Ooh, that's a good question.
Morocco.
That's a fair
I
point.
don't
What makes you say
think
Morocco?
I just one of the teams that I know that's in it that I've not really seen play. Out of like all the other African teams that are in it, I don't think Morocco will do very well.
That's fair. Jamie, what about you?
Yeah, it's hard to see. You can't see. I can't see. Unlike what you were saying about the defense, I can't see Costa Rica doing well. I can't see Tunisia doing well. I don't know. Yeah, Qatar, Ecuador, all those kind of teams. I mean, you don't know. They might surprise you, but I can't see them doing anything. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, another shout there.
I was gonna say Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Canada again.
Yeah, I really want Canada to do well. It's their first ever World Cup.
Probably Canada, yeah, because it's the first ever World Cup. They just need some time to settle in. Maybe they have a lucky run of results or whatever, but yeah, it'd be more luck than management, I imagine.
Well, here's the thing with Canada, because they're one of the 3 hosts at the next World Cup, along with the USA and Mexico. So technically, they're already going to be at the next World Cup. So they're only
got nothing to lose. Yeah, they can play.
Also, this leads to a point. What do we think about the fact the World Cup's being extended to how many teams is it now going to be in 26? It's 48.
Oh,
because that's why there's 3.
Go on. I think it's quite good in a way because at least because there are so many nations that just don't get in for a while.
True.
But extending the competition is always flawed because you've got that extra teams, you've got the extra matches, you whatever. But I don't know. It would be nice.
It's always about money, isn't it?
But yeah, who wants to give opportunities to Andorra to get into a World Cup?
It's nothing to do with Andorra. It's just Italy are complaining because they've not been in the past 2 times.
Yeah, basically. Why are we not in?
That's all it is. They're like, oh well, if we have like an extra several teams in there, we might have a chance of getting in again.
I think they should have a tournament for the nations that are really low in the FIFA rankings, like your San Marinos, your Andorras, and whatnot, and like a World Cup for them. And that tournament should be held
like a Europa World Cup,
kind of.
Yeah,
So that tournament.
And then we're going to go into like a what is it? A conference that they have below that.
It'll called the World Plate.
The World Plate. The world's ceramic, the world's ornamental tea set. But what I think they should do is they should do that, and it should be played in the summers when there's no Euros and there's no proper World Cup. And the winner of
only
that
on Thursdays.
Tournament, no, you should do it
on Thursdays.
And the winner of that tournament should be given either a qualification spot for their region, for the continent they represent, or they should be given a group stage place in the World Cup. That would be my priority.
I don't know we're not in a primary school here with like participation trophies. Like, yeah, it's the best tournament. Like the best teams get in. Yeah. Sorry, like if you want to go, be better.
I want to make but you've got to understand there are international teams that cannot compete. So that's why I think they should have their own.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well, sorry, try again next time. Try again harder.
Well, maybe they should just do a world.
Just let everyone in then.
Yeah, just do a World Super League. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, fuck it, get everyone in.
Yeah, get everyone in.
Michael's suddenly sounding like some kind of UKIP MP all of a sudden.
I know, he sounds like he voted for Brexit.
Coming over here, taking our World Cup.
That's it.
So, because you're from Liechtenstein, just because you make the highest amount of false teeth. That's actually true, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Top scorer of the World Cup. Who's going to be the top goal scorer? Who is going to bang him in?
Charles Darwin Nunes. Saying it there first.
Charles Darwin.
Nunes.
Yeah, that's a good shout. In fairness, he's hitting form at this point for Liverpool. So he's bringing that form into the World Cup. And now you've had your big, like I say, you've had Benzema out injured, Mane out injured, big goal scorers in the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll win, but I could see Ronaldo getting top scorer, like going out in the
I was
semis or the
thinking that as well because
quarters.
he really wants to like make an impact in it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think Portugal will do anything, but he might get enough goals in a group stage to like, get out.
I want him to disappear off the face of the planet because if I have to see on Sky Sports News anymore, ooh, he said this about United. Ooh, he went on a film. I don't care. He's a spoiled, petulant, overpaid prick who just happens to be better at football.
His murals disappeared from United's ground, so you won't see that anymore.
Oh,
is it gone?
Well, you can tell he's a prick just by the fact that he did an interview with Piers Morgan.
Yeah, he said, "I'm your friend."
Yeah,
I'm your friend. Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what? As I said, I think I said this in our group yesterday, which I'm definitely going to be adding Jack into after this. I think that if United release Ronaldo, then they will go up in my estimation because it's finally that thing of like, you know what, player power doesn't always rule.
And you haven't got people pissing in someone's ear, manager.
Yeah, when Roy Keane did it a few years back, they tore his contract because it's like no player is bigger than the club. Doesn't matter what legacy. And also, let's forget, we forget. Yes, he won a Ballon d'Or while he was at United, but let's be honest, the team where he really hit the heights of what he is at, where he is now, was Real Madrid.
Yeah. I think it was a mistake to like force him, like all these players going like, oh, Ferdinand and all that, trying to get him to go there and stuff. And I got a sense before he even arrived that it was going to be not quite right because
he was meant to be going to City.
Exactly, and City would have made
a good signed him from all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, they signed him for the wrong reasons. Yeah, exactly. So that didn't help.
They signed. I mean, to be fair, he's got a tongue and a mouth. He could have said no, but then he was like,
"What a troll job! What a troll job by Guardiola!"
I know, right?
Yeah, we really want you. Yeah, we really want you. Yeah. You definitely suit our style.
Yes, our style of playing without a centre forward until this season.
Go destroy our rivals.
Based on your thing about saying that no player bigger than the club, I have to say since Erik ten Hag's arrived, that seems to have gone down a level. Because he benched Ronaldo quite a lot to begin with.
He's benched Maguire as well.
Yeah, and he's benched Maguire, and he's doing what's best for his team.
Yeah, and Maguire is meant to be the captain.
Yeah, and not allowing
him. So I'd go a step further. I'd be getting Maguire to do the little jobs around, bringing a brew and cleaning the boots and mopping the floors and all that.
Slabhead, put the cones out in training.
That's it.
Which begs the question, what does Southgate see that Ten Hag doesn't?
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the biggest thing. Because if Ten Hag can't see it in him, why is Southgate seeing it in him?
Because Maguire reminds Southgate of what he could have been as a defender.
I'd say Southgate was probably a better defender than Maguire. So that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, but Southgate never got like massive moves, did he?
No, but he was a better player, and he was in an era where big moves weren't that big of a thing at that point.
That is a good point. I didn't mind Southgate as a player.
Because now everyone's a big money move. Everyone's like over £20 million, whereas back then they weren't. You'd be lucky if you got them into the millions.
We live in a world where the Brazilian Ronaldo was signed for like 30 million from Real Madrid, and Jack Grealish, a spotty, weasel-looking Brummy, gets £100 million moves to Manchester City. The world has gone mad. Got one more category on this World Cup thing before we move on to the quiz. Best player who is not going to the World Cup. And I don't just mean through injury. Haaland. I mean from nations that haven't qualified. I was going to say Haaland. I think
Haaland is a big one.
What about you, Michael? Best player that's not going to the World Cup? Can't hear you. You're muted, dude.
Yeah, I'd like to say something different about Haaland. He's fucking top of the world right now.
Who would you have said different, though? I'm intrigued.
I've got someone else as well. In
Yeah.
fairness, Donnarumma.
Is he not? Oh yeah, because Italy aren't going. Yeah. Good
Hmm.
point. Donnarumma's a good one. Also, Bobby.
Yeah,
from
Bobby
Yeah,
Italy.
Firmino, he should be included in
Bobby
the
Zamora? Or?
No, Bobby
Zamora.
Zamora. No.
Oh, I
Deacon as
used
well.
I used to love the chant against Bobby Zamora.
What was that?
Well, the Fulham fans used to sing, "When the ball hits the net, you sure you can bet it's Zamora." Whereas the opposition fans used to go, "When you're sat in row Z and the ball hits your head, it's Zamora."
That's Zamora. Nice. All right. We now come to something I always look forward to and something I like. It is a quiz. Now, the last time we did a multiple choice quiz, I originally was going to say raise your hands, but I'm just going to ask and get your answers either way. So there are 20 questions. They are all World Cup based. If someone can keep score for me, that would be amazing.
Oh,
Are
but
you
you
guys?
can tell us about a pen.
Oh, actually, I can get. I can keep if you want to write your answers down, you can.
Oh, I've got a pen. I tell you what, I've got a pen. Yeah.
In fact, Jimmy's on the
Who
spot.
would have it?
I'm not prepared for this.
Right.
I have
Sharp.
but I've only got fucking post-it notes.
That's fine. Are we ready?
I'll keep score. How many points we giving?
So
Can
there
you
are
write
20
my answers down for me, Jimmy?
There are
Okay.
20 questions. There are 20 questions, but there are bonus points as well. So let me just have a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
Christ,
17,
how long is this?
20. No, there's 20 questions, but there's bonus points as well for certain questions. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Question 1. What was the score between Germany and Saudi Arabia in their opening game of the 2002 World Cup? Was it A, 4-0 to Germany, B, 6-0 to Germany, or C, 8-0 to Germany? The theme of that question is the Germans won.
No.
Shock horror, I know.
I'll go. What was the second? 6. I'll go with that one.
So Jimmy's saying 6.
We're just writing it down, aren't we?
You can answer.
Do we give our answers now?
You can give my answers now. I want Jim.
He just wants someone to do the scores.
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
writing down the answers, and I'll write down if we get them right as well.
Okay, I'll go
Well,
C.
I'm not writing anything down, so someone's just going to have to do scores because I'm just going to say my answer when I get told to.
Okay, Jack, what's your answer?
Oh yeah, my guess was 6-0.
You said 6-0. Jimmy?
6.
Michael?
8-0.
The answer is C, 8-0.
Oh.
Because Miroslav Klose scored like 4.
Boom. I had a feeling it was the big one.
Question number 2. When Esteban Cambiaso scored against Serbia in the 2006 World Cup, how many passes led to the goal? Was it A, 23, B, 26, or C,
I remember this
32?
Oh, yeah, let me just count. 23 because it's my lucky number, not because I know anything about it.
You're going to say 23?
I'm gonna go in the middle.
You're gonna go in the middle and say 26.
Yeah,
what were the
what
were the options again?
The
23,
26
and 32.
I got 32.
The answer is 26.
Yes.
Jack Nuttall has a point, as does Michael. Jim Bob has no points. Is on zilch, and I'm on zilch because I am the question master, and I would have got all of these right anyway. Who hosted the tournament in its very first edition in 1930? Was it A, Brazil, B, Argentina, or C, Uruguay?
Uruguay, I think.
Jack?
Yeah, I think it's Uruguay.
I think Uruguay were the tournament that hosted it.
Yes, I do.
And Michael?
Fuck it, Uruguay.
You are all correct. You are all correct. And now, for a bonus point, who won it?
Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
Jim?
Who won it?
Who
in
won the
that-
very first World Cup in 1930?
Oh no, no, I'm
Uruguay.
not saying Brazil.
What'd you say, Jack?
I'm not going to say Brazil.
What are you going to say?
Is it something daft like West Germany?
Michael?
I already said Brazil.
I
The
think
winner of, what'd you say, Jim?
because I think Uruguay won it once. I'm going to go for them.
The answer is Uruguay did host it and Uruguay did win it. So Jim Bob
Oh, well
gets
done, Jimmy.
2
Well done.
points. It was one of their 2 World Cup victories because they didn't do the
They won
next
it
few
twice.
tournaments and then they came back and won again. Right. For this next question, you can pick 2. Which African nations have got the furthest in the tournament out of these 3? Pick 2 of them. Senegal, Cameroon, Ghana.
Senegal,
Definitely
Cameroon.
Ghana. Definitely Ghana's one of
wrong
them.
then, but I'll stick with it.
Which one are you saying? Senegal,
said
Cameroon?
2.
Yeah, I said 2, yes.
So we've got to pick which ones have got furthest in the tournament.
Yeah,
Oh
out of
my!
those 3.
I'm gonna
Ghana.
go Ghana and Cameroon.
Yes.
I'll go
What?
Ghana and Senegal.
Ghana and Senegal.
You're going Ghana and Senegal.
Because I remember that El Hadj Diouf. Wasn't El Hadj Diouf from Senegal?
He was,
It
yeah.
was that
Yeah, he
year
was.
when they did well.
A man
Ghana-
Neil Warnock famously called a sewer rat and then signed him for Leeds 6 months later. Yes. The answer is Senegal and Ghana. They've both got to the quarterfinals.
Oh, well
So
done, Michael.
2 points. You get a point each for. You get a point per correct answer. So Jack does get a point for saying Ghana, but 2 points. You're good there, Jim Bob.
So just only if you got the answer right, you get a full 2 points.
No, you get this. You
You get a point for each team.
Yeah.
Oh, so Ghana and Senegal. Oh, so I get a point for Senegal, and you get a point for
And I
Ghana.
get a point for Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
got it.
Michael gets
And
2
Michael
points because he got
gets
them both right.
Next one.
Perfect.
Who is the all-time top goal scorer in the World Cup? Is it A, Jules Fontaine of France, B, Ronaldo, the best one, or C, Miroslav Klose?
Also, I don't know.
Yeah.
Michael saying C.
Fontaine.
Jack saying
Fontaine of France.
Fontaine. You're saying Fontaine. Jim?
Yeah, closer.
C, Miroslav Klose. In 2006, Ronaldo originally broke the record for the most goals in tournament history. And then Klose went on and beat that in 2014. Just Fontaine finished as the top scorer of one edition of the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
Back in like the 1950s or something like that. Right, question number 6. What was the average scoreline in Spain's games on their way to victory in 2010? Was it A, 2-0, B, 1-0, or C, 3-1?
2-0.
Saying A, 2-0. Michael?
1-0?
Okay.
3-1.
The answer is 1-0. 7 of Spain's 8 games in the tournament were 1-0 wins.
Boring us to death with tiki-taka.
Yes, indeed. All right, question 7. Which Asian country has got the furthest? Is it A, Japan, B, China, or C, South Korea?
South Korea.
You're saying South
That
Korea?
Italy game.
Yeah, South Korea.
You're saying South Korea? Jimmy?
Yeah, I'll go with South Korea as well.
The answer is C, South Korea. Japan got to, I think it was the round of 16 in 2002. China have never left the group stage.
No, they only qualified in 2002 or something, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
It depends where you look that up. If you got that in Chinese media, they've won every World Cup.
That's North Korea you're getting confused with. And South Korea got to the semi-finals in 2002 via some brilliant victories against Italy, which some people think was a fix. And the striker who scored the winning goal against Italy was playing for an Italian club at the time and was essentially fired. I know. In USA 94, which Italian missed the penalty in the final that gave Brazil the win? Was it A, Paolo Rossi, B, Christian Vieri, or C, Roberto Baggio?
I'll go Baggio.
Yeah, I was going to say out of those, I'd go Baggio.
Jack saying Baggio. Michael? has gone.
He's vanished.
As Michael's disappeared and missed that question, the answer was C, Roberto Baggio. So both of you are correct. Now, for a bonus point, what was the nickname given to Baggio?
Oh,
yeah, I think I knew this back in the day.
I knew this, but I can't remember what it is now.
Giving you multiple choice options. Michael has to go and attend to an emergency, so
No way.
we crack on.
No worries.
What was the nickname given to Baggio? I'm not giving you multiple choice for this.
No, go on. We don't know.
The Divine Ponytail.
The Divine Ponytail. Yeah, that's it.
That's not what I was thinking of for sure.
Question number 10. A recent series is coming to Netflix based on USA 94, but what tragic event is it covering? Is it A, the shooting of Andres Escobar, B, Diego Maradona's drug-fueled end, or C, England failing to qualify? I don't know if it's out already or it's coming.
I'm gonna say.
I've got England failing to qualify. I don't know.
I'm gonna say the first one, Escobar.
Jack is correct.
Escobar.
Because, for context, after Andres Escobar scored an own goal in a game that ultimately knocked Colombia out of the World Cup, he got back to Colombia and he was shot.
I heard about this actually. Now you're saying no, it's definitely that one, of course. Yeah.
And the fact that Jimmy Nuttall thinks England failing to qualify is a tragic event.
Well, that's why I chose it because you know when the least obvious answer sounds like it would be. So I just thought, I'll go with that. Sometimes that's the case, but Escobar is.
That's why I eliminated that answer to begin with.
This is a question that's nothing to do with this quiz. How are we finding this quiz so far? Just to massage my own ego for a second.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, answers are being given, questions are being asked.
There you go. What is the furthest a Scandinavian team has got in the World Cup? Is it A, semis, B, final, or C, the quarters? Scandinavian teams: Denmark, Iceland, Finland, Norway, Sweden.
I have a feeling that it was quite high up in one of the older World Cups. I have a feeling it rings a bell that they perhaps got to a final or a semi. I'm going to be brave because I've lost this quiz already anyway. I'm going to go final.
You haven't lost the quiz already. There's a question that you can win 4 points. So you're going final.
I'm gonna guess semi-final.
Jimmy gets a point. It was the final. Now for a bonus point, can you tell me which nation it was?
Finland.
You're saying Finland.
I think you could be right there, Jack. But I think it is. The obvious choice is to go with Sweden or is it Denmark? Is it Denmark? Could be Denmark.
I have a feeling it'll be Finland. I don't know why. It just.
I think you could be right. It rings a bell. I'll go Denmark though, just to be like, it could have been them.
You're both wrong. It was Sweden.
Oh, no. So that would have been the obvious one, wouldn't it? Really?
They lost to Brazil. I think it was in 1958. They lost 5-2. Question number 12. Which two Eastern European players played for Barcelona? Was it A, Dimitar Berbatov and Adrian Mutu, B, Nemanja Vidic and Adrian Eli, or C, Hristo Stoichkov and George Hagi?
Didn't Mutu play?
C.
What'd you say, Jack?
C, the last one.
You're saying C of Stoichkov and Hagi?
Yeah.
What about you, Jim?
I don't think they did, but I'm just going to go A because I actually don't know, to be honest. A.
Jack gets a point. Jack gets a point. It was C. Hristo Stoichkov was a striker who played for Bulgaria and played for Parma and Barcelona. George Hagi was a Romanian winger who sort of shot to prominence in '94. Both of them kind of did, actually. In fact, Stoichkov was the man behind the goals that saw Bulgaria. I think they finished third in that World Cup.
Right. Good question, Quizmaster.
Thank you, sir. The next one you should get right. Which Liverpool winger scored an absolute thunder twat against Mexico in the 2006 World Cup? Was it A, Maxi Rodriguez, B, Mark Gonzalez, or C, Lucas?
Well, yeah, Lucas is eliminated already because he's not a winger.
Rodriguez, I would have said it was Maxi. It sounds like it'd be Maxi. I don't know. I'm going to go Maxi. I don't know.
You're going to say Maxi. Jack?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of. I have a feeling it could be Mark Gonzalez, but I could be completely wrong. I'm going to say Gonzalez just to be different to Jimmy.
You are completely wrong. Jimmy is correct. It was Maxi Rodriguez.
Yeah, I thought it was, but I thought I'll just be different.
I thought that was one of the more obvious questions, personally. Right. So, this next one, there is no multiple choice, but you get a chance for 4. There are 4 points you could get from this. So, what were Luis Suarez's 2 World Cup controversies? You get a point for each controversy, so 2, and you get a point for the years, which means 4 points in total. There are 2 World Cups where he did something that wasn't great.
Didn't he bite someone?
One of the well, I will wait for get right. So give me yours first.
Well, I know he bit someone.
Yep.
And I know he definitely did that in a World Cup. I'm not sure what the other one would be. Ooh.
I'll go with a bit. Go on, you go first, yeah.
Well, I was going to say he bit someone, and I'm going to say racially abusive language.
What years?
And I'm going to go with 20. Ooh. 20. Oh, is it 2014 or 20? No.
It's not going to be 18, put it that way.
No, 2014 and 2006.
No, I mean it's not going to be. It's not going to be 18 like that, like the 1800s. Not. It could be 18.
No,
It could be 2018.
So you're saying 2014, 2006, and you're saying biting
Yeah.
and racially abusing. Jimmy?
I'll go 2018.
Yes.
And in that, I can't even remember. I hope they were in all times, really. And I don't know because those are the obvious. You've said the obvious ones that he was controversial for. I'm going to say he got a speeding ticket in 2018 and he bit someone in 2014. Because I don't know what else he could have done.
You are both correct on the he bit somebody and in 2014. So you get 2 points for that. But the other one was he saved a shot by handballing it against Ghana in 2010.
Yes, I'll say.
And from the resulting penalty, Asamoah Gyan sent it into Rosette.
Yeah.
Right. Who scored the goal that broke English hearts in the 2018 semi-final against Croatia? Was it A, Luka Modric, B, Mario Mandzukic, or C, Ivan Rakitic?
Oh,
was it? I have a feeling it was. See, I watched this match, and why can't I remember? Was it? I have a feeling it's Modric.
4 years ago.
I'm just gonna go Modric.
Yeah, I think it. Well, do we know what the score was in that match, Bemba?
2-1.
2-1. Because I'm sure Modric scored one of the goals, but I can't remember whether it was the first or the second.
I know that Kieran Trippier scored a worldie of a free kick. So you're both saying Luka Modric.
I know I'm going to say Rakitic.
You are both wrong. It was Mario Mandzukic.
No points.
Question 16. What did Wayne Rooney say after the 0-0 draw with Algeria in 2010? Was it A, nice to see your own fans boo you? B, Jamie, your wife is a twat? Or C, I like them over 70 and without teeth?
I was going to say it's C. It's definitely C. It's not, but I have to say it because I wanted to crack a similar joke. So Jack, take the point because I have to say C.
I'm assuming it's A.
It is A. I had to throw a granny bashing joke in there
I know,
somewhere.
and I wanted to give an alternative answer if you didn't. So that's why I had to do it. On principle, I had to do it.
Right. If Jimmy does not get this next question correct, I will be very disappointed. And to be fair, you as well. Wales have finally ended their 64-year wait for a World Cup. But who was the last home nation, minus England, to qualify for a World Cup? And you get a bonus point if you can guess the year. Scotland, Northern Ireland, or Wales?
It was Scotland in 1998.
Jack?
Well, yes, I was going to say Scotland and in 1998 because that's the last time they were in.
Both get 2 points.
Aha.
Right. What do...
And obviously Jimmy's picture perfectly demonstrates Scotland in 2002.
We have
you mean 1998?
I was saying if he was paying attention, he didn't. He just started singing.
I just started singing "We Have a Dream," which was 1998, the album with Pudsey.
didn't Delamitri also release a song called "Don't Come Home Too Soon," which was about Scotland? Just don't come home too soon. Oh, they're back from the group stage. That was quick.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
The
Question
group stage is the World
18.
Cup for Scotland.
It is true. Question 18 of 20. What do reigning champions Germany, Italy, Spain, and France have in common, minus the fact they are European? Is it A? Each side has failed to leave their group in the tournament after the one they were victorious. B, they've all won penalty shootouts in finals. Or C, they've all beaten Brazil in a final.
I'm gonna go with A. The fact that they've not got out of the group stage.
I'll go with C.
The answer is A. Each side has failed to leave their group in the tournament after the one they were victorious.
As we discussed earlier, Brazil are the only ones
I
around.
thought it would be, but I'll take a different answer.
But they have all played Brazil in the final. Italy and France have beaten Brazil in the final. Italy and Germany have lost to them in the final. Which continent has won the most World Cups? Is it Asia, Europe, South America, North America, Africa, Oceania, or Antarctica?
Oh, Antarctica up there. I know. I'm gonna go. I'll go for Europe.
I'm gonna go South America.
Jack is correct. It's South America. They've won 9, in which 5 of them have been won by Brazil, 3 have been won by Argentina, 2 have been won by Uruguay.
Yeah.
And the next closest one was Europe, whereas Asia, Africa, Oceania, and Antarctica have won all. Especially Antarctica, because it turns out FIFA doesn't recognise penguins as being capable of playing football.
It's an absolute travesty. We should do something.
It is. Why can Qatar host a World Cup but penguins can't play? Justice for penguins. Justice for penguins. Right. Last question. Which nation is the most successful from each continent? Now, Europe has 2, Africa has 3. This is not in terms of whether they've won it, but in terms of progression in the tournament. I'm not going to give you multiple choice. You have to give me. So for Asia, which nation is the most successful?
Japan.
Jim Bob?
Yeah,
no, not Japan. No, it's not Japan. Oh no, yeah, because it's progression. Yeah, no, Japan.
Probably, it probably would be, Japan or Korea. Those 2 are the ones that actually,
I need one.
Yeah. Oh, you are being picky. Oh God,
there's only one for this one.
Well, I'll go on. Because I'm being kind and I've lost the quiz anyway. I will say Korea.
Which Korea?
Oh no, South Korea, of course.
The answer is South Korea. Considering I had a question earlier about South Korea.
Well, I know you did, but I didn't realise that South Korea had been in more tournaments and progressed more than.
No, they only progressed in the semis in that one. They have round of 16 at least. Right. The next one's Europe. There are 2, and if you get both of them right, you get a point each. There are 2 nations.
Germany probably won, as long as we're counting the fact that they're probably as the same entities they were when they were West Germany. It's a kind of
I was just about to say that.
No, but we are counting them as the same entity.
Okay, well, definitely Germany, because Germany have been ridiculously successful. I used to have a mug with all the World Cup winners on, which is why I shouldn't have chosen Europe in that question and should have chosen South America. But yeah,
excuses.
Germany, I was being nice, Germany are definitely up there, but there's 2, right? So there's Germany, and then there's probably France, probably because of recent thing. I'd say, I don't know, probably Germany and France.
Jack,
I'm gonna go Germany and Italy.
Jack gets the full 2 points. He gets Germany and Italy. You get just Germany.
Well, of course, 2006 swayed it, didn't it? Yeah.
South America.
Brazil.
Yes.
Jimmy had known that one as well, so you just have the point before we even ask you. Because
you've got more, on these last points, I've just written loads of 1s and 2s, and I don't even know what I'm calculating. But you've won anyway, Jack. So
anyway,
yeah.
North America.
USA.
Jack.
Oh no, it could be Mexico though.
No, Mexico. Yeah, no, I'm going to say Mexico.
Yeah.
The answer was the USA.
Oh,
well done,
They
Jimmy.
they got to the semis in like the 50s. Oceania. And we are not classing Australia as Oceania because they now qualify through Asia.
Okay.
And
Then
then-
it is definitely the Cook Islands. I don't know what is that even Oceania. It's New
Fiji.
Zealand. New Zealand.
Jimmy's correct. It is New Zealand.
Yeah.
And then for Antarctica.
No one, because they've not got anywhere.
Jim from Antarctica.
From Antarctica, it's probably Emperor Penguins
I
final
will
five-side team that played in the ice tournament of
Is
2021.
it
And
Against Craggy Islands over 75.
yeah.
is it not just a group of scientists who go to do some studies? Are they not just the next World Cup team for Antarctica?
The disrespect is just uncanny. It's Penguin FC, which is obviously not real. I just thought I'd throw that in there
Penguin
as
FC.
a little joke. So
Okay.
anyway, Jim Bob, the result of the quiz is.
Okay.
Have you been absolutely thrashed?
Yeah, I've been thrashed. I mean, I could add up, but I can see here that I've been thrashed. I got some good 1-pointers, but Jack's got more 2-pointers. Obviously, Michael's disappeared, so we have a clear winner in Jack. So well done, Jack. First entry into the podcast and first victory.
First of many podcasts.
Yes, please.
Now at some point, if there's another one, I need to do like a general knowledge thing to put him on our scoreboard because we did the whole 15 questions based on our clubs, which means I don't need to do one. Yeah. So right. Anyway, what all that leads me to say is thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. And it's coming home, maybe? No, probably not. Are we even excited for the World Cup? Probably not.
No, probably not. When's the Champions League back on?
February.
Oh, okay.
When's the league back on?
Yeah, Premier League's back on Boxing Day.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
Who's going to win the Premier League, do you think?
Arsenal.
I think Arsenal too.
Yeah.
I called Arsenal after 3 games.
Yeah, I want Arsenal to win it.
I said to my dad after 3 games, I went, Arsenal are going to win the Premier League, and he went, oh no, they're not. City will win. And I went, no, Arsenal are going to win the Premier League.
I mean, Arsenal still have to play City, but I think they'll do all right.
But they've just been so consistent. That's the thing. Exactly. Whereas City haven't been consistent, Liverpool haven't been consistent, the rest haven't been consistent. I've got a funny feeling Arsenal are going to come first and Newcastle are going to be second.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That's what I think. I think City will slip again.
You think Newcastle for Champions League?
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll definitely get a Champions League spot. I think.
It'll be like goal, Santiago Muñoz.
Do you reckon they need to get some extra players in January though, and Arsenal?
I don't think Arsenal do really. I don't think Arsenal need that much at all. I think they're in a good position. They might want to more look for the future a bit more.
Yeah.
And go like really young in terms of like sort of teenagers, I think.
Fair enough.
Whereas Newcastle might need because if they have a couple of players that go out like key players, I think they'll struggle.
Nice. Well, this has been fun. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys listening have enjoyed it too. Thanks to our guest, who's probably now going to crawl into bed after this, Jack Nuttall.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you all next time. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
And